This one might be long. Sorry. It's Thursday night. I think I last made you a video on Monday. No idea what I did Monday night. Maybe you know. Tuesday, I went out to... sorry, I'm walking to Daiso also and trying not... It's like rush hour-ish. Try not to die. Just be bad form. Tuesday, I went out to Sarah's, a different Sarah, for a breakfast. We had chicken and donuts and bread and beer and all kinds of stuff. So one of the people who was there was a girl named Charlotte. Charlotte and another girl who wasn't there is from France, and she's studying Korean. Now, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but at the Seder we had briefly talked. Her mom she has a sister who's 13 who has to get better at English this summer, or nowish, I don't know. So the mom thought, I'll send the sister over to stay with Charlotte for a month in the summer, and it's in Korea, and then they'll spend time together, and also she'll improve her English. And I was like, well, if we do it in June, I'm not going to have anything to do that month, since my last day of work is June 2nd, and I can't really leave the country till July. I could teach her English. And then, so anyway, Tuesday night, I saw Charlotte, who said, it would need to be moved to July because that's when my sister has vacation. And my mom said, could she come here and stay here and in exchange teach her some English for the month? And Charlotte's saying, well, I told her, no, of course not, Mom. She's not going to come to Paris for a month. And I was sitting there, and her mom said, no, we'll just ask anyway. And Charlotte said, well, so I'm asking. And I was like, what on God's green earth would make you think that I would say no? So I need to double check with Rox, because I was going to spend a week with them, so we'll see if they're down for Paris. But yeah, so I've been offered a month of housing, July, housing-wise, in Paris in exchange for teaching a 13-year-old English who already speaks pretty good English. So we would just be working on conversational stuff. And it's apparently right near the Eiffel Tower, so actually in the city. I don't understand how I got to a point in my life where I was offered a chance to go summer in Paris and teach. What? That's so exciting. Yeah, so I'm almost definitely going to do it. I'd say I'm 99% definitely going to do it. Yeah, I'm just absolutely ecstatic at the idea. Wow. So yeah, not Switzerland, but I could weekend in Switzerland because Europe is the size of, I don't know, Jersey. You could just do that. Yeah, so I'm excited. Sorry, I'm gonna try and take my jacket off because I'm warm while walking and holding bags. On the flip side, so I've gotten sick from the kids, which is annoying. I don't know if I mentioned this, when I met with my boss, first of all, here it's legal, totally legal, to record a conversation as long as, to record a conversation secretly, as long as you are one of the people talking. So as long as my voice is clearly heard on a recording, I could record conversations with my boss. Just put the phone in my pocket. And she had called me in previously to ask me for more than 2 months. And now so Wednesday night, last night, Heather, who's the new elementary supervisor, took me and Joe out for dinner, which was nice. It was on Angela's dime. To try and convince us to stay. And Angela called me in again tonight. basically saying, well, it's not fair, I haven't given her 8 weeks. And I'm like, well, I have from the date of my letter of resignation. And she's like, well, the school collapsed, like all of the kids in your class will leave. And Heather had said last night, like, many parents specifically chose to come to school, which I think is a little bit bullshit because we only have one new child who's actually brand new. We had another one of my 2 new children, one is brand new, and the other one, I might be walking into chaos. The other one is the sibling of others, but the one who's new, like, she came to an open house that I taught at, so like maybe she liked me. And she was saying that like people have joined my classes specifically on the reputation, and that they don't really, my reputation as a teacher, which is intimidating to know that I already have one after such a short time here. And saying that the parents don't really like my Korean co-teacher, and that they had wanted to leave, but they also want their child to be in my class, so they're staying, and that if I go, then that won't be the case, and they might leave. And I'm like, that's all well and good, like, I'm sorry, but I need to think of my own mental health, and be not here. And she was like, well, the school might close, and I'm like, well, that's a damn shame, ain't it? I didn't open a business. And then she's like, well, think of all the other people who work here, and think of the children, and I'm like, I would love to think of them, except I need to think of myself first. I need to be selfish at this moment. And all I kept repeating in both meetings with her and with Heather is my last day of work will be June 2nd. Unfortunately, while I recorded the conversation with Heather, I didn't yet record a conversation with her. And then so she was like, well, you know, if you leave June 2nd, you're going to have some, like, what did she did, the way she phrased it was like, I'm going to have trouble if I leave June 2nd with my visa, which I wish I had caught that on tape because it sounds like a threat. And I was like, I mean, I could also leave now, but I'm willing to stay until June 2nd. Like, but I'm happy to leave any weekend. Like, that doesn't bother me. I'm happy to just, like, pack my things and go. She's like, well, you won't be able to have the visa. And I'm like, well, so I'll wait until it's done and then I'll come back in February, like, or in September, in fact, is when my visa finishes officially. So, like, I could come back anyway. It doesn't, yeah, whatever. Then she's like, oh, are you threatening me? And I'm like, I'm leaving June 2nd. So we'll see. I'm going to Daiso now they have cardboard boxes outside that you can just, like, theoretically to hold your purchases, but I'm going to use them to pack. And I'm going to get, like, storage boxes and storage bags and stuff. And I'm definitely going to pack up all my winter stuff and anything I don't need for the foreseeable near future. I've already looked into storage unit options, and yeah, I mean, I don't want to leave in a hurry. Like, I would like to provide a nice transition for the children, but that's not the first thing on my priority list. Heather asked if I would be willing to do something. She was asking, would I be willing to stay and train a new person? And I said, I'm willing to go to immigration with my letter of release, which Angela needs to give me. I'm willing to go to immigration on Monday, June 4th, and then come back on Tuesday and help train a new person through the rest of that week if necessary. But that's all I can give you, and only after I've gone to immigration. Because honestly, after I've gone to immigration, like, I can't do anything for 3 weeks anyway, and it would be helpful. I would be willing to help train a new person for those 4 days to make their transition and the kids' transition as easy as possible. But, you know, we'll see. So I'm packing anyway, just in case, and hey, whatever. Like, until September, I can go places. I can go to Switzerland, I can go to France, I can go to Vietnam, whatever. I'm nearly at Daiso now, so yeah, I'll let you know. Bye!